and welcome back to another episode of Underdog Podcast. So, today we're going to talk about the Daunte Wright shooting in was it Brooklyn Center, Minnesota, somewhere near Minneapolis. I hope it's somewhere near Minneapolis because the riots and looting are in Minneapolis, but whatever. Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. Just yet another shooting in Minnesota. Is this a coincidence, or does this happen often, or cause and effect? I don't like coincidences because, well, cause and effect, universal law, right? So, say you had a shooting last year, right? George Floyd, Minneapolis, Minnesota. And then from there, you have the whole movement of defunding the police. And they look at I think they did this in Minnesota and looked at defunding the police and did certain things, whatever. But then you decide, oh, well, we also still need some police, but you defund them. So therefore, now you maybe have a lack of a training program. Maybe you have lack of funds and stuff, and you're not getting the same quality recruits as before. Then you kind of get instances like this. Like this is a flat out rookie move, what took place. I'm just setting up a hypothetical scenario. And just going off of memory of some things, articles I read over the past year. I didn't do no deep dive research into the actual funding of police in that area, the surrounding area, I guess, of Minneapolis or wherever the case may be. But you see how you do have how something can affect something else down the line, right? You see how this stuff plays out. Interesting that this happens, yet the old Black Lives Matter, one of the co-founders, which we talked about yesterday, Marxist leader, yet is a capitalist because, well, they buying up real estate, private property. Private property literally goes against Marxism, right? Oh man, these people are hypocrites to the highest degree. They just say shit just to say shit. Doesn't matter for them. And now you got more support for Black Lives Matter because, well, another supposed black person died. Because everybody's black and stuff. Go ahead and check this stuff out, man. So this is from breaking911.com. Holy shit, shot him. A direct quote. Police released body cam footage from officer-involved shooting in Minnesota. So right off the bat, we know this happened yesterday, and then the police involved, or the police chief of Minneapolis, of the local area, wherever, Brooklyn Center, wherever it's called, the city, they released the body cam footage. So right off the bat, they did the right thing by releasing the footage, not waiting for facts to come out and stuff. But the protests and the people that were out there, unnecessary because the facts haven't even come out yet. How can you have a reaction to something when you don't know what the fuck just happened? Well, that makes sense because the only reaction you can have is an emotional one. And guess what? When you have an emotional reaction, shit doesn't always make sense. You're just reacting off emotion. So it says a Brooklyn Center police chief says the officer who fatally shot Daunte Wright intended to discharge a taser. So we're going to watch the video. This is from The Hill. I don't want to watch all of it. I don't want to be like labeled graphic or something right there. But fuck it.
Push the space bar and it'll play.
So they're at the police. Look like by the looks of it, towards the end of the video, they had I want to say a police conference, the press conference for the police chief of the Brooklyn Center Police Department, and they're showing the body cam footage. So we'll kind of break this down. Also, too, you can definitely check out the Officer Tatum channel on YouTube. Officer Tatum reports, so like that. He's of course, he's a former officer. It says in the name, but he breaks it down what you should supposed to do in this. And just like I said, there's just the basic stuff I know from detainee or training, where you detain someone or where you have to holster your weapon, knowing where if you have a taser or something like that, like the things that we're gonna talk about and break down in this video is basic training, man. It's literal basic training. Like when you have a weapon, when you have a taser. Like I never had to carry a taser, but I got some of that training just in case it came about where I had to have a taser. To be honest with you, just use your brain. You don't even need no training. If you're gonna have a taser and a gun, you probably should make sure that they're separated. But we're gonna talk about that. So here in the video, you got 3 police officers. One is on the right, and I believe that's a sergeant or something like that. So it's from what Officer Tatum was talking about. Pretty much, that'll be a supervisor, which once again, you had any type of military law enforcement training, these are standard procedures. This officer right here, who's black, by the way, so you can't be like, racism, all that other stuff. And then I believe the officer that shot Daunte Wright was a female, right? White female. Because people love race and sex and stuff like that, so you gotta throw that out there. So you see, I believe he had a warrant out for his arrest. It was a traffic stop, but they probably scanned the tags or something like that, wherever the case may be, and they knew what they were gonna do. And I believe he said that, hey, you have a warrant out for your arrest, we place you under arrest. I can barely hear the volume and stuff, but so what's going on now? That he's just sitting there. The one officer is talking to the driver, Daunte, which would be Daunte Wright, and he's trying to get him to open up the door. And at this point, I wondered, did they tell him to turn off the car? Like, if you're gonna have them stop and stuff, hey, can you turn off the car? Put the keys, or at least give the keys to the passenger, because the passenger isn't under arrest for warrants or anything like that. Then, they would be the ones to drive that car off if the car is not gonna be impounded. So right here, he has them get off. Officer Taylor's brought up a great point, of course, because he's an officer, and it's something I noticed too. In one of the scenarios I've been over in training before, if you're gonna do something like this, you pull the person away from the vehicle. you pull, especially if you're about to place them under arrest. You need to make sure that they're nowhere in a place where they can hop back into the vehicle to drive off, because the vehicle can be used as a weapon. If you treat it as such, or just your reckless driving can cause someone else's life to be in danger physically. So right off the bat, you messed up. Man, I got on phone pauses too. But right off the bat, you messed up. You bring him back to the back of the vehicle. Hell, you ever been pulled over before? Pay attention to what they do, like this procedures, and they'll tell you that, hey, we're doing this for our safety, because we don't know what the fuck you might do. So, and as you go through training scenarios in law enforcement, military, whatever the case, you watch videos like this. Like, this is going to turn into an instruction video for every military and every law enforcement. Plain and simple. It's an instructional video now of what the fuck not to do, because this is how you learn. And sadly, obviously, someone lost their life, and it sucks. I'm not even gonna go into him having an arrest and he shouldn't have ran away and all those stuff. Like, I mean, he's already doing those type of things. Of course, he's gonna try to run away. Like, like if he's already doing breaking the law or whatever, of course he's gonna try to run away. Of course he's gonna try to run away. I mean, he's already playing that game anyway. So you will want to bring him off to the curb, off to the side, away from the vehicle, away from where he's able to just hop back into the car and drive off. Which I said also, that's why you will take the keys out of the vehicle. Now he has his handcuffs out, ready to place him under arrest. Which you kind of, when I first initially watched it, I was like, well, it's kind of lackadaisical. Like, it's kind of, I don't think you want to do it right there. Like, so the whole thing just felt bad, right? Bad training. I don't want to say bad training, poor judgment. And if this guy on the other side, the other officer on the passenger side, if he's a supervisor or something like that, well, I guess he was like, well, you guys are getting poorly evaluated, but whatever. So continue on. So he's going to try to place him under arrest, and he's like, "Don't resist, don't resist." I don't really like the way his handcuffs are. There should already be one handcuff on his wrist or something like that. There's different ways to place someone under arrest. It's best like I said, take him behind a vehicle, put him up against a car, sit him down on the curb or something like that, somewhere where it they can't just easily just take off, right? And if they do take off, you rather them run on foot as opposed to hopping into the vehicle. These are scenarios you have to go over. And when you be a police officer or anyone in the military, the whole majority of the training is about remaining calm, keeping your emotions in check under situations like this. So that way you don't, let your emotions take over and you think and you do some dumb shit, which obviously some dumb shit happened and now this person lost their life. Because regardless of what happened, nobody should lose their life over this, right? Nobody should lose their life over this. Yeah, cause and effect. Obviously, Daunte Wright did these things, whatever, so he put himself into this position. But he shouldn't lose his life over this. And there's no malice in this, man. Especially if you watch the video, whether you're on the audio version of the podcast, check out the video and stuff. Like, there's no malice in this. It's a complete fuck up of the highest degree. Similar to a doctor or something like that. When they fuck up, someone loses their life. We're in the military. You fuck up, shoot somebody, they lose their life. Officer, you fuck up, a bad day for an officer, somebody lost their life because you made a mistake. And people don't understand, like, these are, when you're out there, there are literal life and death situations where if you make a wrong mistake, someone can die. And it sucks because now this woman's whole life has changed because she made a mistake. Now, you can say whether or not she deserves some type of consequences where she be put in prison or something like that. I mean, that's always up for debate. But there's no intent of malice, right? There's no, oh, I'm going to shoot this black man. So race shouldn't even be thought of in this scenario. Like, race should never even be thought of. Like, no one should look at this scenario and think, oh, they killed him because he was black. Or they shot another black man. No, that shit shouldn't even be brought up. And to be honest with you, it's ignorant if you even think that way. I don't care who you are. It's ignorant if you think that way. Because that shouldn't even come up. What you're seeing right here is someone literally making a rookie mistake. I don't know how long she's been on the force or anything like that, but I hope she hasn't been on long, because at least that's a little more understandable in a sense if you want to try to have some understanding of this situation. But if she's been around for like 5 years, that makes you like, God damn, I don't think that should have happened either. But see, now they're both trying to hold him under arrest and stuff. They should have pulled him away from the vehicle. Daunte Wright fights him off easily, right? The restraint he had on wasn't good enough, obviously. Which Daunte Wright knew. Like, oh, Daunte Wright probably knew. Like, oh, y'all ain't shit. I can easily hop back into this vehicle and take off. Which he did. So, the male officer, he's trying to hold Daunte Wright and stuff from getting and take off and driving and stuff. And then I don't know what the other officer on the other passenger side is doing at this point. The female officer is standing behind him, behind the male officer right now, and she's yelling, "I'll tase you, I'll tase you." But she pulls out her gun, looks like a standard issue Glock. But once again, emotions are high at this point because I don't think a gun, a Glock, and a taser weigh the same. I don't even think they're in the same material. I think a taser might be a kind of plastic material. Of course, a Glock, a metal, I want to say iron or steel, something like that. But and then also too, it also lets you know that she's not that much familiar with the weapon as well. Because if she's familiar with her weapon, she would. You always know when you pull your weapon because you have a feel, because you done practiced so much with it. You done cleaned it. You have become so familiarized. You think of like what's that movie, Full Metal Jacket. This is my rifle. This is my gun. Like, like you have to sleep with it. You have to keep it around you and stuff. Like, that's your weapon. You know it inside and out because you train with it all the time. So when you pick it up and you feel it, that's it. And if you ever held a handgun, a pistol, it's top heavy, right? Because the bolt in there and all the mechanism, the top lever, that's where more of the density the material, the matter and stuff is the mass rather is there, because the rest of it is more of a poly plastic grip and stuff like that. But your real metal, iron, steel, whatever components is at the top lever where the bolt is at and stuff like that to fire off the bullet. So I don't know how you can tell. Like I said, logically speaking, you would notice the difference. But because emotions are high, she doesn't have her emotions in check. This is what happens. And I know everybody's gonna break it down and stuff, and it's easy to say it. And that's the thing. Some people gotta realize that it's easy to say this when you're not in a situation yourself. But unless you have trained for this over and over and over, you will not know how to react. At the same time, she wasn't prepared anyways, because if you have a taser and you have a weapon, your taser should be maybe on the left side of your body. It needs to be, and I remember this from training. I said I never had to have a taser, but that was one of the training scenarios for deployment, and they taught us this just in case. I mean, just throw it out there because logically it makes sense. You prepare yourself. I tell my kids all the time, it's like, it's not just about what you're doing right in the moment, it's about how you prepare for this moment. So if you know you have a taser and you have a real firearm weapon, a Glock, you need to place it on separate parts of your body, or flip it around, or do whatever, so you know when you go grab it, you know which one is your gun holster and which one is your taser holster, or wherever you got it at. Maybe put on your left thigh or something. Maybe you're more right-handed dominant shooting, so your Glock is on your right-hand side, right at your waist, right on your hip rather. Or your taser could be, maybe you have it on your left-hand side of your body, on your hip, or maybe have it on your back, or whatever position you want to have it at. Something just to throw you off, to make you think twice, so you know, bam, this is my taser, this is my weapon, which one I'm gonna draw up. So she drew out the weapon, the gun, and was saying taser, taser, taser. Now, somebody might spin this video and be like, oh, well, no, she meant to kill him. That makes no fucking sense. I guess you have to believe that everybody's evil and everybody wants to kill a black person for whatever fucking reason. That's a huge stretch. Obviously, if you're gonna do it, you wouldn't do it in this manner because, well, fucking, you got too many witnesses for one. Obviously, so you won't want to do it in this manner, and you got your body camera footage on. So it's definitely, now with law enforcement, they have body cameras footage on. Like, everything you do is recorded, so you really are being watched. You're not trying to do no malice or intentful or harmful intentional things, because, well, you're being watched, man. If you're gonna do it, you probably should be a little bit better at it. So I think the whole argument, or if anyone tries to present that argument that she did this because she wanted to kill a black man or anything, or profile him or any of this shit, nah, you can't justify it, which obviously makes you wonder how people can even go out and riot and stuff like that, because it's idiotic. I try to refrain from calling everyday run-of-the-mill people stupid, but this shit is, if you're rioting and looting over this is stupid. There's no other words for it, man. I tried my hardest to be nice, but you're a fucking idiot. There's no reason to be rioting over this and stuff. All right, and better yet, if you're gonna do it, no, you're gonna protest, and you go right to that police department in Brooklyn Center, right there. And really, it should be a travesty, and we should all feel sad about the situation and not necessarily angry about it. You should empathy and sympathize for all parties involved, man. Because we don't ever think about the person that did, like, think about how she feels. You don't think she feels like a horrible person? You don't think she feels like she fucked up badly? You don't think she's sitting there contemplating? Just be honest. You don't think she's thinking about suicide? Think about the weight of which she has to carry for the rest of her life because of a mistake, a decision that she made when she thought she was making the right decision. Like, she wanted to go for a taser. She probably joined the police force or whatever, and she probably seen all this stuff been going on these past few years. Or actually, it's always been going on, but whatever. Mainstream media has been blasting like it's something new. But she probably seen all this stuff and was like, you know what? And while I'm in that situation, I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna bring out a taser. When you bring out the tasers, what you yell? Taser, taser, taser. And really, you're yelling taser, 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 so everybody can clear back. Because if you're connected to the person that's getting tased, simple science, electricity, your ass is gonna be electrocuted too. So that's why she yells out, taser, 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 so her partner will clear out the way. It's just, it's a shitty thing, man, that happened, man. So, gonna watch the rest of this stuff. She said, I'll tase you, I'll tase you. She has her Glock out. She has a paper in her left hand, which I don't know why she has a paper in her left hand. She's shot. And you hear her say, I just shot him. And she's like, yes, I just shot him. Like, damn, I can't believe I just shot him.
Can you turn the lights back on, please?
And that's wild, right, man? Like, you don't want to see nothing like that ever. But, hey, these things happen, man. And I think the rest of the video kind of plays some of the press conference. But I have a Twitter page pulled up. So this is from the Daily Caller, and this is Chief Gannon. He's saying, I was front and center at the protest at the riot. Questionnaires, whoever asked the question says, don't do that. There was not a riot. And then Chief Gannon says there was. The officers were being pelted with frozen cans, a pop pelted with concrete blocks, and then officers hit in the head with a brick. Let's see, I don't know if he goes into this. No, I don't think they say anything. So let's check out this video and see what they say.
Decision to issue a dispersal order while they were peaceful.
So now this is more later on about the press conference. Obviously, man, I mean, the video speaks for itself. Accidental shooting, horrible mishap, completely bad choice, mistake, dropped the ball, fucked up, someone lost their life. But responsibility and accountability relies on all parties involved. All parties involved. Maybe all parties involved. All parties involved. Maybe not so much the passenger or whatever, but if you're riding a vehicle with this type of person, I don't know what to tell you. Be careful who you hang around. The officer that was on the passenger side, pay more attention. I mean, anybody. Of course, you could break down this video in hindsight and be like, oh, you know, we should have did this, we should have did that. But that's in hindsight, right? Because no one thought, I'm sure they didn't think that Daunte Wright was going to hop into the vehicle and take off driving. Because even though she shot him, he still took off driving, right? So she tried to prevent him from getting into the car and taking off driving, and he still was able to get in the vehicle and take off driving. I don't know. I guess he died later on or from injuries. I can't even tell where she shot him at. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Hold on. Okay, we gotta watch this video again because I can't tell where she shot him at. So I'm sorry, man. I don't care if I sound crazy or not, but something just doesn't add up. Where's the gunshot at? Right? Where's the gunshot at? In fact, the gunshot, I don't know if you ever heard a gunshot. It's pretty fucking loud. Louder than her screaming taser, taser, taser. So I can hear her screaming taser, taser, taser. I can hear the car, right, making the noise because the door is open and stuff, and the keys probably still in the ignition. And the car's probably in park or whatever. You can still hear it. Where's the gunshot at? She said, oh, I shot him, but I didn't hear no gunshot. It's not like she has a silencer on her weapon. It should be pretty loud. I can't even tell where she shot him at, to be honest with you. Because she did. It looked like she would have shot him in the stomach, maybe off to the side. Maybe pierced the lung. Fuck, man. See, emotions, man. Because I'm sitting there trying to break it down and emotions, talking about the mistakes she made and stuff and all the things. But I don't hear no gunshot. That's probably why the partner was like, you shot him? You sure? And they were kind of looking dismayed because, like, you know, let's be honest, they didn't hear no gunshot. Did you hear a gunshot? You know, somebody, whoever's watching this, the video version of the podcast, or even the audio version, let me know. Let me know in the comments, something like that, man. Like, if you actually hear a gunshot, because I'm kind of freaking out now. I'm like, I don't even hear a gunshot, bro. Let me listen to this again. Turn my headphones up. I heard no gunshot. I heard no gunshot. I heard no gunshot. I heard a hold on, man. And then she yelling taser, taser, taser. She didn't happen to look in her hand real quick to see that, oh shit, this is not the taser. The taser is like yellow, right? It's bright yellow or something, like some type of color distortion where it's not the same as obviously a gun. It's weird, bro. I didn't hear no gunshot. I didn't hear no gunshot, man. Yeah, somebody let me know in the comment section or something like that, man, because now I'm really questioning this shit because I didn't hear no gunshot. Am I missing something? Can we? Okay, I'll slow it down. Okay, I'm gonna slow it down to 0.25 playback speed. Let's see, on a good spot. This shit sounds horrible, right? Like some demonic shit. Okay, she has a paper in her right hand. Then she switches over to put the paper in her left hand. You hear her, I'll tase you. Then she pulls out her weapon. Now look, in this video, you can see her partner's taser is yellow. And it's on the left side of his body. And I can't tell if it's flipped backwards or not. But I can see the yellow to let you know it's indicating it's a taser. It's not the same as his weapon or her weapon. So she pulls out her Glock. So the officer, oh man, now, goddamn, I didn't think I would be sitting here having questions like this on this video. Okay, Daunte Wright is kicking and stuff. I don't know how he was able to kick in and everything and then get his feet back in. And she's saying, stop, I'll tase you. I'll tase you. And she's fighting with him with her left hand. And you can see it again, too. You can see it again, too, as well. I shouldn't have went so far back. But you get a close up. Bam. Let's see. Right there. You see the yellow. That's his taser. It's turned backwards. So even if you are right-handed, you still have to reach over across your body to pull out your taser. Something that you know wherever you're doing indicates that you are pulling out your taser. She's saying, I'll tase you. Stop. Daunte Wright gets both feet into the vehicle. You can't really tell what the passenger is doing, so now it's paused at a good angle. Let's see, I got the screen well, yeah. And she's pointing the gun at him. Does she have, okay, how do you not know you don't have a gun by now? Unless you just hopped up on emotions and stuff like that. And she's aiming the gun right now towards the back of Daunte's right body on his left side. Towards his back on his left side. So you want to say, what is that? Maybe it could pierce a lung or something. Maybe hit a spinal cord. But she got a Glock 22. She got some type of Glock or whatever. So probably what, 40 caliber, maybe probably 9 mil. Yeah. And she said she shot him. She shot him. So just when I described it, where she was aiming to, I didn't see no. Hold on, man. Hold on, guy. Hold on. I saw no. I heard no gunshot. And then in 0.25 speed, there should have been some type of something out of the barrel. I see nothing come out of the barrel. I heard no gunshot. I saw nothing come out of the barrel. No, nothing. Like, no gunshot. Couldn't tell you where the bullet went. Didn't think I mean, I guess you probably wouldn't necessarily see blood right away, obviously, I guess. Fuck, man. Fuck. Like, you won't necessarily see the flicker of the gunfire, the explosion, whatever, coming out of the gun barrel unless, in the middle of the day, unless you're not necessarily looking at it. But slow down, we should have saw something. I didn't see nothing come out the gun. I saw no bullet come out of the gun. I hear no gunshot being fired. Did you shoot him once? Did you shoot him twice? See what happens when you don't pay attention? I just caught myself hot up on emotions, trying to break it down and stuff, think about it logically. Yet, the video is right there for us to see. It's simple, obvious questions. Hey, where's the gunshot at? How come we hear no gunshot? Where's the bullet coming out of the weapon at? You know what? I'm just gonna leave it there, man. I'm just gonna leave it there, man. Because I'm just gonna leave it there. But this is then we're gonna switch gears, talk a little bit about how the media always tries to spin certain things. Fuck, my head is fucked up now. I can't believe that shit. I can't believe that shit, man. That's really fucking odd, man. That's really fucking odd, bro. But this is Chief Gannon talking with the
protesting in front of the police station. What led to you to issue a dispersal order, and then on the back end of that?
So the protest in front of the police station. So obviously, if you want to protest, that's where you do it at. That's where you would do it at if you had something to say. But to me, that protest in front of the police station was way too early. That was way too early. It was right after the incident happened. Report. None of the facts are out yet. So to me, that's way too fucking early to even protest stuff like that.
10-minute dispersal order, then to issue out CO2 canisters and gas for the crowd.
So,
can you talk to us about that?
Just so everybody's clear, I was front and center at the protest, at the riot. We did not.
It was a riot. Don't do that. There was no.
You see everybody getting mad. Don't do that. Don't call it a riot.
There was. So the officers that were putting themselves in harm's way were being pelted with frozen cans of pop. They were being pelted with concrete blocks.
Now you have to ask yourself, would you allow someone just to sit there and throw rocks at you and hit you with shit over some shit where you had nothing to do with? You was minding your business, or you was doing your job somewhere else. And now you gotta get called on to do this, and now you get hit with rocks, and you don't know what the fuck is going on. Other than the same shit that everybody else knows what's going on. Officer involved shooting, officer shot somebody. That's all you know. But they get called on to do their job, and now they're getting hit with rocks and shit. They're like put yourself in someone else's shoes. Put yourself in a police officer's shoe. See it from their perspectives. Kind of fucked up, right? To get hit with some shit like that, but you mind your damn business. You're doing your job. You collect your paycheck, and now you get hit with rocks and shit.
And yes, we had our helmets on, and we had other protection gear, but an officer was injured, hit in the head with a brick. That was a Henry County deputy. He was transported to the hospital. So we had to make decisions. We had to disperse the crowd because we can't allow our officers to be harmed. And I've already answered the question, I believe, about your lighting. I know that's a big deal with you, and I understand that, but I thought I'd explained that myself. So I told you it's my decision, and that's why I made that decision. Is there another question? Yes, ma'am.
I mean, the room's tense. I can feel it.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, that's wild, man. That's it's just I still can't. I'm still kind of thrown off by the video, but okay.
Speak to us for real. I mean, the room's tense. I can feel it.
Okay, so now this is the Brooklyn Center Police Chief once again, Chief Gannon, Tim Gannon. Makes thing of Rich Gannon. It says, I'm the leader of this department. They expect me to leave, blah, blah. Let's see. Let's listen.
What is on your heart? Let him answer, guys.
Sure.
Speak to us for real. Like, keep it 100.
Speak to us for real.
This is what I'm here for.
He almost want to laugh when he heard her say, keep it 100. Like, what?
I'm the leader of this department. They expect me to lead. Create a safe city. That's what I'm trying to do. So that's it.
I hope you're not trying to.
Okay? And, yeah, I'm emotional.
Guys, he's being honest.
I'm just trying to be honest. So.
When I have a question for you.
Yes, sir.
When you ask the protesters to take.
I mean, the rooms.
I mean, the man's just trying to be. I'm just trying to be honest. I don't know why they're attacking him. Like, it's funny because when you want to place blame, find a place to place blame, but don't just go after anybody. Like, obviously he's a leader and stuff. And these are, but I'm more or less talking about these so-called media. Like, all they should be asking right now is details. What happened at the scene? What's going on with the protest? Riots, whatever the narrative you want to spin. Just collect as much information. Ask the questions. That's it. You know, how do you feel right now? Tell us how you feel. What the fuck? What do you mean? Nobody care how he feels right now. Let's be honest. Tell me how the officers on site of the incident of the shooting. Tell me how they feel. See, we get somebody to talk to them. Like, where are they going through right now? And then this other video, it says, actually, go ahead and listen to it.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Okay. Is
Yes,
that
I have a question.
final question? All right.
Final question. So, Police Chief, we hear that you have committed to protecting this building and protecting the city tonight if there are protests. Will you commit to protecting protesters and the people of this city?
I am committed to protecting the peaceful protesters of the city every day.
Not yesterday.
Peaceful protesters.
I wasn't peaceful.
And someone said, not yesterday, a little slick ass remark. Not yesterday. Well, shut the fuck up. Nobody asked you for your opinion. Journalists, wherever they want to call themselves. No, man. If you're there to ask a question, ask a question. If you want to be a commentator, get your own fucking podcast or something. Like, get your blog or whatever the case may be. Like, you're trying to attack him. Why are you trying to attack him?
No.
And they were targeting me.
Okay.
All right. So thank you, everybody. Just to reiterate, you know, my commitment, our commitment as a city.
We've been listening in to what is becoming.
Mayor Michael Elliott. So the mayor of the city is black, right? So no, I don't want to hear none of that black shit, none of that shit. The mayor of the city is black. One officer on the scene was black. The officer that shot him was a white woman. I don't want to hear none of this racism and Black Lives Matter bullshit.
Heated press conference.
It was a heated press conference, whatever, man. But what gets me is people's reactions, right? Because every now and then you get these celebrities want to, you know, pull their head out their ass and say something even more idiotic. And then you get shit like this. This is from the New York Post. It says, quote, hurting. Aaron Hicks sitting out Yankees game due to Daunte Wright shooting. Come on, man. Come on, man. How does that make sense? How does that make sense? That makes no damn sense whatsoever, right? Somebody asked me a question, text message, whatever. But so let's talk about Aaron Hicks sitting out Yankees game due to Daunte Wright shooting. Does Aaron Hicks know who the fuck Daunte Wright actually is? Does he know who he is? Does he have a personal relationship with him? So this guy is asking for a day off because something happened. like that's kind of narcissistic, right? Says after, of course, you gotta say it, after a black man, you know, because it just can't be a man, a person, whatever. It has to be a black man. Thank you, New York Post. Y'all ain't shit either. It says after a black man was killed by a police officer in Minnesota, Yankees outfielder Aaron Hicks decided not to play Monday night against the Blue Jays. Yankees manager Aaron Boone said Hicks came to him Monday afternoon in the wake of the news that Daunte Wright, 20, was shot by an officer on Sunday during a traffic stop in Brooklyn Center, a suburb of Minneapolis, and told him he was struggling with the events. He was struggling with the events. Oh my God, bro. What the fuck? He's struggling with the events. He's struggling with the events. So he needs a night off. The arrogance of some people, man. The arrogance of some people is crazy, right? It says, it's just been a hard day for him. Understandably emotional, Boone said before the Yankees opened their series against Toronto at TD Ballpark. He felt like he would have a hard time going out there tonight. All he could do is try his best. All I can do is to try the best I can to offer support. I understand how he's feeling. How the fuck any of y'all understand how he's feeling? Like even so, you know what? Even say Aaron Hicks had a family member that died in some similar fashion or whatever. The fuck does justify you taking a night off from work? Because that's what it is. What we're talking about here is a multi-millionaire contract baseball player asking to have the night off from work. That's what we're talking about. So imagine you at work right now, like, you know what? You go to your boss, say, hey, you know, because of Daunte Wright shooting, I can't be at work today. I'm gonna go home. See what the fuck happens to you. Yeah, right? Everybody, okay. Is that your family member or like, oh no, you know, it's just another black man being shot in America, man. I can't take it right now, so I just need to go home today. Like, nobody's gonna buy that shit, bro. Like, right? It's just the arrogance of these people. This is arrogance of these people. Oh yeah, let me take the night off because, you know, a shooting happened. That says Boone added that he also talked to Juan Carlos Stanton, who was outspoken during last summer's racial unrest following the police-related death of George Floyd in Minneapolis. And the DH was also considering not playing as a Monday afternoon, but ultimately stayed in the lineup, going 0-for-4 with a strikeout in the Yankees' 3-1 win. It says, "This life," Boone said, "of Hicks' decision. This is our livelihood. It's important to us. This is our livelihood. If this is your livelihood, take your ass to fucking work." Right? How many times you been sick? How many times something happened with your family member? Shit that happened with my kids, right? Shit that really was an issue, and people were still like, hey, well, you gotta show up to work. And that's military. And then even outside of military, people will still be like, hey, you know, they don't give a fuck. Hey, are you gonna come into work though? Okay, well, yeah. Well, can you come in a little bit later? Right? But here this guy is like, oh yeah, man, I just need to take the night off. You know, it's such a rough situation. The fuck? What type of narcissism is that? It says, but the people who came in contact with the people we come in contact with each and every day and work with closely share so much with, essentially are like family. We all have families. Life happens. There's great things, good times. There's great times, good times, great days, tragic things that come up that affect so many people in so many different ways. You try to live the life the best way you can. This is such bullshit, bro. It says Hicks did his usual pregame work before the Yankees win, and Boone said he was on the bench throughout the game. Boone added, we'll see where he's at moving forward. And not surprisingly, Boone, who has adopted 2 children who are black. Well, good for you, Boone. Good for you. Because that makes all the point relevant of this article, right? Nobody gives a fuck. What does it have to do? Oh, because I adopted some black kids, I understand the feeling. Like, is that not arrogant? Is this not narcissistic? Like, come on, man. These pandering ass celebrities ain't shit. Athletes, whoever you want to call them, whatever the case may be, they ain't shit. And this happened Sunday. So this is Monday. Says I can't speak to how he's feeling, something blah blah. So, okay, this is the only connection Hicks has to it. Hicks was drafted by the Twins, the Minnesota Twins, and played the first 3 years of his major league career in Minnesota before he was traded to the Yankees. So that's his connection to it. That's his connection to it. So imagine some city that you used to live in before you lived at wherever you live at now. and someone died in a similar fashion, a police officer involved shooting, something like that. Stupid mistake, fucked up, okay. And you hear about it, and you're like, I just don't feel like I can come into work today because what happened in the city I used to live in and stuff. It really hit close to home. I was like, oh, is your family okay? Oh yeah, my family has nothing to do with it. Not even close with it, but just still though, I just feel like it could have been one of my friends or family members, so I can't handle it right now. So I'm gonna have the night off. that's literally what he just said. Right? That's literally what he just said. Like, what do you do with that shit, bro? What do you do with that shit? What? Now think of it. You already know what your boss is gonna say. Now put yourself in your boss's position and be like, what the fuck is you talking about, man? You need to play tonight. You need to play tonight. You need to go to. You need to come to work tonight. I'm sorry, I get what you're saying, but you get paid to do a job. You need to come to work, and unless you're sick, unless there's a personal family issue. I don't know. You need to figure that out. I don't know what he got in his contract where he could take X amount of days off or something. I don't know. He got like sick leaves. I don't know how athlete contracts work, but I'm just saying it's just kind of like weird, right? It's just weird. That's all I'm saying, man. It's weird. It's selfish. It's narcissistic. It's fucked up. It's stupid. People, man, that's a reach, man. But see, that's what I'm talking about. They'll take someone else's tragedy, right, and flip it and make it about themselves. Like, how much of a narcissistic move is that? You're making it about yourself. It has nothing to do with you. And this dude just sat there and made it about himself. Pathetic. So this is from CBS News. So this is more live updates, and this is some of the riots and looting, right? Let's call it what it is, man. Let's call it what it is. So it says second night of unrest after fatal police shooting of Daunte Wright outside Minneapolis. So even after the facts come out, people are still protesting, rioting, whatever you want to call it. It says trouble broke out again during the second night of unrest. During the second night of protests outside police headquarters in the Minneapolis suburb of Brooklyn Center. A day after one of the city's officers shot and killed 20-year-old black man. Why, man? Why? What the fuck does this skin color have to do with anything about this situation? What does skin color have to do about this shit right here? Nothing. Nothing. Skin color has nothing to do about anything about this. Yet, here it is talking about skin color. It says black man Daunte Wright during a traffic stop. I mean, he had warrant out for arrest, but okay. Brooklyn Center Police Chief Tim Gannon told a news conference Monday that the officer who shot Wright meant to use her taser, but instead grabbed her gun. Kim Potter, a 26-year veteran of the force. Oh, fuck no. Fuck no. Fuck no. Okay, now I'm questioning this whole thing. You telling me she's been on the force for 26 fucking years and she makes this mistake? That you don't make a mistake like this, man. Because at this point in time, it's second nature, right? It's second nature. You don't make a mistake like this. If anything, you just pull everybody back and just say, fuck it, he's in the vehicle. We'll chase him down later or something like that. No, bro, you get on a high-speed police chase. Actually, you ever watch cop videos or you should watch cops or live PD or wherever the case may be, you'll see the same things. They get in the vehicle, stuff like that, they usually just pull off. Or they back up and stuff because, one, you don't want to get caught in the door and be dragged because that is possible to happen. You want to be dragged and then ran over. All these different scenarios and stuff. So, oh my God. Oh, now I'm really questioning validity of all this. I don't care how crazy I'm sounding. I'm questioning the validity of all this because none of this shit makes sense. I didn't hear no gunshot. Did not see the bullet leave the weapon when you slow the video down to 0.25 speed, right? 2/25. Yeah. Like, no, man, come on, man. And she's been on the force for 26 years. 26 years. She's been placed on administrative leave. The Minnesota Bureau of Criminal Apprehension is investigating Wright's death. Sunday shooting happened in the midst of Derek Chauvin's trial. See, that's what I was talking about, coincidences, man. Like, Like, what are the mathematical odds of this happening during Derek Chauvin's trial with George Floyd, doing all this time near Minneapolis, in Minnesota? What are the mathematical odds of this shit happening right now? So, and because of that, because of what we saw in the video, now we have to question the validity of all this. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care how crazy I sound. I don't care if you think I'm stupid. It doesn't matter, because something just doesn't add up. At this point in time, something doesn't add up, man. 26-year veteran of the force making a literal rookie move, a rookie mistake. I thought she'd been on the force a little while, and you tell me she's been on the force for 26 years? Hell, 26 years? What? Why she ain't got a desk job at this point? Am I reading a 26-year veteran? This gotta be wrong, man. This gotta be wrong, bro. 26-year veteran of force pulled out a, like, do y'all understand this? You tell you've been a police officer for 26 years, but you can't tell the difference between a gun and a taser? There's no excuse for that now. There's no excuse for that now. And once again, there's still no malice and intent, because how could there be? A 26-year veteran of force, if she want to go out and kill a black man, she'll do it way smarter than this. So that's not in the case either. I didn't hear no gunshot. I didn't see no bullet leave the gun. I didn't see no gunfire come out of the weapon. Couldn't tell where he got shot at. Couldn't tell if he was bleeding. Couldn't tell anything. Couldn't tell if it was the shot where he got hit at was fatal, or he just bled to death later. Maybe this report will say some of it. No, this talks. Oh my God. See, that's what I'm talking about. How many questions there are. So even now, you still can't even protest or be pissed off about something, because if you sit and take the time to actually pay attention to all this stuff, there's so many questions now. Now there's a lot of questions. And that's what's wrong with these shootings when they're pushed out in the mainstream narrative, because there's a lot of questions that shit just doesn't add up. It doesn't seem like, okay, this is what happened, and this is what happened, and now we can assess the situation. Nah, you see a bunch of stuff, and it's like none of this shit makes sense now. Why was there 3 people there? Why were there 3 people there? And she been on the force for 26 years. The other guy, I think in the Officer Taylor report, when he was breaking down the video, it was like he had a better shot of it. It showed that the officer had stripes, so he was a sergeant. So it would be only the officer the other male officer that was on the side, the driver's side of the vehicle, with Daunte Wright. But you can clearly see when I slowed down the video that his taser was positioned on the other side of the body, facing with the handle outward, away from his body. So he knew where his taser was at. I want to know how she put her uniform on. Anyone have a picture of her in her uniform before she left or anything like that? Like, how she normally put her uniform on? Right? Anyone have any picture of 26-year veteran of force? You don't think she put her taser on the correct area? So now I'm questioning the validity of all this, because you have to be careful with what you see. Because just because you see it doesn't make it true. I mean, let's be honest, man. Just because you see it doesn't make it true. I know it's hard for some people to believe. Like, oh, they got the footage right here, you see it. It doesn't matter, man. We talked about before, psychological operations, like, does not matter, man. I did the same thing with George Floyd. I was like, hey, there's a lot of suspicious stuff in this video when you think about it. A lot of shit don't add up. I'm just saying, man. I shouldn't have to ask these basic questions. A simple question is, where is the gunshot audio? Why do I not hear a gunshot? I shot him. I can hear you yell, I shot him. I can hear you yell, taser, taser. But I didn't hear no actual gunshot. And see, it's a Glock, so you can't tell if the hammer has went off, because the hammer is internal. There's no external hammer. So I wonder if you slow the video down, does it even show that she pulled the trigger? You know, I'm calling it, man. I'm calling it now. It's kind of odd, man. It's kind of odd. I'm questioning the validity of all this. I'm calling it. Like I said, I don't care. And you think that, oh, no, well, somebody died, they wouldn't fake that. Yeah, they would. And yeah, they would kill somebody in real life too. Whoever they is, that's the problem. We don't know. We don't know. If you don't think they'll kill people, well, Ask people that was near Building 7, World Trade Center. Nothing hit that building, right? It just happened to all collapse, and whoever was around there died, right? I'm just saying, man. You literally have to question everything, because we're at this point where the most obvious thing, and that's the way. The first time I thought that, I was like, man, maybe I just didn't hear loud enough. So I turned on my headphones, obviously watching the video now. No audio of a gunshot. No audio of a gunshot. No audio of a gunshot. Couldn't tell if a gun actually left a bullet. A bullet actually left a gun. Couldn't tell you that either. I couldn't tell you if she pulled the trigger. I wasn't too sure. I didn't see nothing, didn't hear nothing. Okay, man, let's go back to this rioting and shit. It says 7 p.m. curfew in Hennepin County didn't deter hundreds of demonstrators Monday as they chanted outside headquarters. The building was fenced off. Brooklyn Center officers outside were buttressed by state troopers and Minnesota National Guard members. So yeah, if you want to protest, that's obviously where you'll go to. You'll go to the police headquarters and do the protesting there. Protesting, yes, but you don't want to turn into a riot. You don't want to let emotions get the best of it, because once that happens, well, now the point you were trying to prove is thrown out the window. So the point they were trying to prove by protesting is gone. It says after several dispersal orders were ignored, flashbangs and tear gas were deployed. Protesters countered with fireworks launched toward law enforcement. So after the flashbang, stuff like that, and tear gas, by that point, you should like, okay, we're done here. We're not going to risk ourselves getting any more injured or anything like that. We'll come back another time. We'll just keep, if you're going to protest, then it's not about, oh, you being there for a long period of time. It's about consistency. Like, keep it up, keep it up, keep it up. Keep protesting, keep speaking, keep voicing your frustration. But that's what you're going to do, voice your frustration. If you want to go protest and go along that lines, because you're not going to go, you're not going to go to war. You ain't got the weaponry. You ain't got the equipment to withstand that type of battle. So you're not going to win any physical altercation. So all you can do is voice your opinion, your frustration. That's it. Tear gas was fired into the crowd around the building, 9:30 p.m. Says soon after law enforcement began advancing on the protesters, firing rubber bullets. It's probably hurt like a motherfucker. CBS Minnesota's Dave Schumann reported from the scene. At about the same time, the Brooklyn Center City Council voted to ban its officers from using rubber bullets and chemical irritants from crowd control. So now you kind of force your the police department to sit there and get their ass beat. Because they gotta protect the police department, because, well, there's weapons in there and stuff as well. So like I said, if you're gonna do this, if you're gonna protest, go about it a manner in which no one gets hurt, on both sides, all sides, wherever the case may be. Because once someone gets hurt, once violence is involved, then emotions get brought up, and then now we forgot why we're here. We forgot the logical reason of what we're trying to accomplish here, because everybody's hyped up on emotions and stuff. And I don't care who you think you are, what you think you're going to do when you go protest. If you let your emotions get the best of you, guess what? The message you're trying to get across gets thrown out the window. Because now we're all paying attention to violence, right? And so the message gets thrown out the window, which I don't even know what the message would be here other than, hey, you guys need to do better training, right? But, don't worry. The media will spin the narrative, oh, there's a black man that got shot. It doesn't matter, because when there's a white person that gets shot, or any other ethnicity, wherever race bullshit you guys want to make up, whenever they get shot, nobody hears about it. Well, they only tell us when a black man gets shot. Not even a black woman. They only tell us when a black man gets shot. Even though white people get shot at a higher rate, because supposedly there's more white people and all the other bullshit. Native Americans get, at one point in time, getting shot or murdered or killed by police officers at a higher rate, and they're way less percent of the population by statistics, statistical data standards, whatever the case. Here's the thing, man. Like, all this gets lost in the mix, because now all we're sitting here talking about is the violence stuff that came about all this. And it says approximately 40 people were arrested. Some officers sustained minor injuries, and there were a few instances of what? Hold on, man. It said there were a few instances of looting. there was not a few instances of looting. It was more than a few instances of looting because here we go. Here's the footage of the looting right here. This is from Dinesh Duzu. Oh my God, I know I said it all wrong. I really got to work on pronunciations. From a give credit to people and stuff. I gotta really work on their names. So this is on Rumble, and then it says okay. This is says I was looking at a notification, something else about Daunte Wright, but it's pretty much what we already just read. So this is showing the footage from different stores around Minneapolis being rioted, being looted and stuff. So what does this have to do with Daunte Wright? Not a goddamn thing. Be honest with you, it's just people like seizing the opportunity because they're thinking, oh, well, the police are too busy caught up right now. They're too busy caught up with whatever they're doing and stuff with the rioters, protesters, whatever you want to call them. And guess what? They can't stop us. So let's go into these stores. So now this is all tainted. And it's funny because it keeps happening over and over and over again because when it does happen, the mainstream narrative is like, oh, well, these guys are pissed off and, they're mad. They can loot up and stuff. Yeah, because they're affecting someone else's property. And yes, there's a corporation, and I get that. I understand that. But guess what? The people that work there they're just regular people who's just trying to have a job. Now what do they do when they're told, oh, don't come back to work tomorrow? Like, what happened? Well, the store got looted and taken out stuff, so we're going to be shut down for a while. Well, do I have a job? Like, we'll have to get back to you because we don't know how long it's going to take to put this up. We might move some of y'all to a different store or we might have to let some of y'all go. I mean, so you looting stores, stuff like that, cause and effect. You don't understand the ramifications or the ripple effect of what will happen when you do something like this because you think you're messing up corporations or you think you're giving it to the fucking white man or the government or whatever the case may be. But really, you're messing with regular, everyday, in the middle people who are just trying to have their jobs. Oh, come on. You going to play there's ads on here?
I applied Lumi yesterday to the groin area, and 24 hours later, I'm still odor-free. Lumi.
Oh, my God. Make sure I mute that shit. All right, here it is. They went up on the T-Mobile. T-Mobile busted open, bro. They went in and got the phones. Which is stupid because you try to turn on
Boost Mobile.
If you try to turn on any of those phones, it's gonna be tracked.
Damn, yo.
Destroyed all this shit, man. This has nothing to do with Daunte Wright.
Y'all want me to go in here real quick?
This has nothing to do with Daunte Wright.
See the inside. Damn, they got the phones. No, they got the police right there.
Phones. What are you gonna do with those phones, bro? What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do, man? You gonna take them somewhere that's getting turned on? They're tracked. At some point in time, they'll know it was you.
I see what's going on in here, man.
They know where you got the phone from.
And they taking everything.
Probably tablets too.
Hey, this the inside, bro. I gotta get out of here though. The police right there.
People got shopping carts and shit. Yo, this is wild, man. People really ain't shit sometimes, man. This is a Route 21. You can tell, like, what is Route 21, right? What does Route 21 have to do with anything? What does Route 21 have to do with Daunte Wright being shot? What does Route 21 have to do with bad police officers, mistake-ridden police officers, 26 years on the force? It's hard to believe. In Minnesota, in Minneapolis, or near Minneapolis, during the George Floyd trial and stuff like that with Derek Chauvin. Everybody just running around taking shit, man. They're grabbing clothes and shit. Everybody grabbing clothes. Shit thrown on the floor, just destroying things, man. People going through. Everybody caught on camera, too. I don't even know why you would live stream this. Obviously, everybody's getting arrested. Well, they try. How they care enough.
Whatever you need. Whatever y'all need.
And he's sitting there, he's encouraging it. It's one thing if you're gonna report it. It's another thing if you're gonna sit there and encourage it. If you just walk in, hey, I'm just showing you guys this. I'm just putting it out there, putting the information out to the world. I was like, oh man, get whatever you need. Nah, bro. Motherfuckers walking out with bags, man.
Stove.
5 and below. Oh man, they got us to 5 and below, bro. God. But my daughter loves that store, 5 and below.
Come on. The Best Buy. Shit, maybe. They done took everything.
I think he had grabbed the football. I think I missed it, but yeah, I think he had grabbed the football for a reason.
It's only Minneapolis, though. I'll go ahead and share this live.
See, it's in Minneapolis, but the shooting was in Brooklyn City. So the looting, if anything, would be in Brooklyn City. So it's not like it's not about Derek Wright. It's not about a black man being shot. It's not about racism. It's not about none of this stuff. It's about people seizing the opportunity to do some shit and get away with it because they know they can get away with it because of last year and years before they've been able to get away with this stuff. I believe this is a TJ Maxx.
Yeah,
so now
Maxx.
you work, yeah, TJ Maxx. So now you work at TJ Maxx. Now you're screwed because what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? They're gonna pay you to come into work to clean up and stuff? A couple of y'all at the most and stuff? Like,
bro.
Your job is messed up. Your income is messed up because people want to come in and do some dumb shit like this.
I'm in good care. God damn.
Oh, it's a TJ Maxx. What are you going in there for? What are you gonna take? Some pillows? some body wash, something? This person is walking through just destroying stuff. Let me just knock everything down because, oh yeah, they shot another black man. I'm tired of this shit. I'm so tired of this shit. Yeah, because you doing that makes a real big difference. Yeah, I mean, let's call it what it is, man. It's ignorance. It's idiocy. It's people hype their own emotions. It's people, it's narcissism. It's selfishness. It's people trying to take advantage of a situation
I'm gonna show y'all what's going on.
For their best benefit.
Oh, shit.
And it's bad, man. That's bad, man. There's something that shouldn't be going on and stuff. I don't care who you are. I don't care what side of political aisle you want to align yourself with. It doesn't matter. That nothing comes about that. You're destroying someone else's property. And like I said, it's not just about corporations. It's about the people that work there. You're messing with their livelihoods, right? So you got one celebrity saying, oh, let me take the night off because, fuck my, I'm just going to take the night off because I can do whatever I want. My livelihood, my job and stuff, I just feel bad, so I'm gonna take the night off, no problem. And you got other people who are like, oh, you know what? Let me go loot this store. It doesn't matter about the livelihood of the people that have to work here and stuff. The people that have to clean it up. None of that stuff doesn't matter because, oh, I'm sticking it to the man because they done shot another black man. At what point does any of this shit make sense? Right? That's my favorite saying on the show. At what point does this shit make sense? Any of this behavior, has anything at all that I showed y'all and talked about made fucking sense? There's no logic in any of this. Logic is just, it seems like logic is a true minority or whatever you want to call it. Logic is just so unheard of in these situations. It's astonishing to me. It's astonishing. So we have last thing I want to talk about is an article here from NPR, National Public Radio, your government-funded radio. I want to show you guys Biden's comments because last year Biden was like, he didn't really say too much in the mainstream media, and some of the politicians was like, well, they're rioting, they're looting because they're just so angry, they're so fed up because black people keep dying in this country by police officers, and this is just wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, and yet. Here Biden says, Biden calls Daunte Wright's death tragic, but cautions against violence and looting. You think any politician actually will stand behind violence or looting? Imagine if TJ Maxx donated. They probably did. TJ Maxx probably did donate. T-Mobile, I'm pretty sure T-Mobile definitely Boost Mobile, I believe so. I think they all donated to Black Lives Matter. And then they got this shit broken into and looted. By people with probably Black Lives Matter attire on as well. It's fucking, you gotta be, well, you can't make this shit up right here. So you probably have that going on, right? Oh, this shit is wild. It says President Biden on Monday called Daunte Wright's death tragic, but cautioned it will not be tolerated as an excuse for violence despite the trauma the black community, because the black community is everywhere, I guess. We're just gonna say the black community even though community doesn't work when you're talking about a whole country. But whatever. Often experiences at the hands of police, blah, blah. It says, we've spoken to, this is a quote from Biden. It says, we've spoken to the governor and the mayor of Brooklyn Center, Minnesota. We've spoken to the authorities there, and I haven't called Daunte Wright's family, but prayers are with the family. Well, if you've spoken to all these people, why don't you talk to Daunte Wright's family? Whatever. It's really a tragic thing that happened, but I think we got to wait and see what the investigation shows. Oh my God. Oh my God. That's probably the most logical shit he has said in over a year. Right? That's probably the most logical thing he ever said. Let's just see what the investigation shows. Oh my God. But see, they try to radicalize these people last summer and stuff like that. Now they can't turn them off. Can't turn them off. I think we talked about this on the show. Like, they'll use this to get votes out of people and all this other stuff, but that's it. They don't want this shit. They don't want nobody looting. They don't want no violent stuff like that because it looks like your country's out of control. And then they say, oh, this stuff happens under Trump. It wouldn't happen once we get Trump out of the White House. It wouldn't happen with Biden or Kamala Harris because, we got a black woman in the White House, so this shit wouldn't happen, right? Yet the shit still happened. Crazy, right? Crazy how that works out. It's almost like all these little shootings and all this stuff, all these things, you haven't been paying attention, all these things are backfiring against the mainstream narrative, against the government's narratives. All this stuff is backfiring, right? It's all backfiring. It says the question is the question is, was it an incident? Well, I messed up. Yeah, the question is, was it an incident? Was it intentional? That remains to be determined by a full-blown investigation. It doesn't look intentional at all, because if it was intentional, that's the most idiotic way to do it. You can't get away with anything. And she's saying taser, taser, taser and stuff, and she really thought she'd probably pull out her taser. If that's the case, I mean, whatever. I don't give a fuck anymore because I ain't hear no gunshot. I ain't hear no gunshot. Somebody convinced me that it was actual gunfire. A shot went off, and there was an actual bullet entry point. Someone convinced me of that. And see, you gotta wait for the autopsy, right? Where's the bullet entry point at? Does it line up with some of the video? Where's the gun residue at? Does that line up? Show me the weapon and show me that it was fired one time, or was it twice? We didn't know. You don't hear no audio. So much stuff that needs to be asked about this whole validity of this video, of this incident. Why is she a 26-year veteran on the force? So is she the supervising officer or something like that? Like, right? None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense. None of this makes sense, man. What's this? This police were pulled right out for Sunday afternoon, blah, blah. But it's saying there's no justification for violence and none for looting. Yeah, but that's exactly what they did. Listen to this part. The encounter happened just miles away from where another black man, because they love to say that, 46-year-old George Floyd died after. So miles away. So if anything, no one want any incident to happen around this area because the world is already watching, or the country is already watching because of the Derek Chauvin trial. That's already going on. So what are the odds that this is happening during the Derek Chauvin trial, during potential unrest from the Derek Chauvin trial, because he's not gonna be charged with manslaughter or anything like that, because there's no intent there to kill someone. So that means these riots, these looting, these protests are gonna lead up to the Derek Chauvin acquittal, or wherever charges he gets put on with and stuff like that. And now you're gonna have more unrest, right? Right? So what are the odds of all this happening right now? Let's be honest, man. What are the statistical, mathematical odds of all this happening right now? And if you say it's just a coincidence, well then there you go. That's just a coincidence. Me, I'm super paranoid. I question everything. I'm a little suspicious. I don't care how crazy I sound. I don't care how stupid I sound. So some shit just doesn't add up, man. You can't make this make sense. You can't tell me it's all just a coincidence. All this is going on. And then there was some other shootings. I think it was a possible school shooting yesterday. I think it was a shooting I think it was in Knoxville. I think it was also involved shooting. I mean, there's shootings all the time and stuff, but rarely do they get mentioned on the mainstream media or in the big news cycle unless it's, something they can spin a narrative, and it's usually, oh, black man dies from white cop shooting them. It's funny too because the other officer right there on the scene was black, so there you go. There you go. Let's see. Oh, Biden didn't have nothing else to say, man. It says when asked Monday about Wright's death, White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki said the White House was prioritizing passing the George Floyd Justice and Policy Act. There you go, right there. There you go, right there. There you go. There's your reason for all this. Because while all this is going on, oh yeah, well, we have the George Floyd Justice and Policy Act we're going to push forward. Now they got all the momentum they need to push this forward. You see, like I said, it might sound crazy. Let me read the rest of it. It says, which proponents say will increase officer accountability and better track instances of police violence. So, like I said, I know it sounds crazy. I don't care. Because when you look at this objectively and you line it up and you try to put together a timeline and you point out all these coincidences and some of these irregularities that questions the validity of the video, what you just watched. You did not hear one gunshot, but you can hear a yell and scream. I'm sorry, but I don't know if you've ever been around a gunshot. It's a lot louder than someone yelling and screaming. It's a lot louder than someone yelling and screaming. Hell, when you go training, when you go want to shoot your weapon, you wear earplugs because that bitch is so loud when the gun goes off. But you didn't hear not one gunshot in the whole video. You did not hear not one gunshot in the whole video. You know what? I'm going to leave it like that, man. You guys think on that. Somebody leave me a comment. Let me know because I want to know. Am I the only one? Am I the only one? Because if I'm the only one, fuck it. I'll be the only crazy motherfucker. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because I did not hear no gunshot. I did not hear no gunshot. I did not hear no gunshot. Now I'm questioning all this yet again. Because I'm already questioning the timing of this. It just seems too coincidental. I'm questioning the validity of the video, of the actual shooting because, didn't hear no gunshot. Didn't see no bullet leave the chamber. No nothing. And at that close, would the bullet go straight through or not? What's the caliber of the bullet? Would it bounce around? Where was the entry wound at? Where was the exit wound at? I mean, yeah, these things you'll find out in the autopsy, of course, but it's kind of odd. Kind of odd, man. I'm going to drop it there or whatever, man. Oh, my God. I can't believe that. I still can't get over that. And as always, check out the live stream on DLive. I'll upload the link to the live stream Monday through Friday, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I put it on my Gab, my Twitter account, and on my blog site. Check that out, DAMIEN Jackson22.com. That's DamienJackson22.com. Check out the UnderdogProductStore.com too if you want to make a purchase, something to help out the channel, wherever the case may be, or you like the t-shirts, whatever designs I put together. I wear them, to be honest with you. And it's probably going to be my whole attire. It's just the shirts that I wear. So that's just me personally, though. But definitely check out the live stream and stuff. I'll upload the video version of the podcast immediately after the live stream, along with the audio version of the podcast. Like I said, check out my blog site for my links and different digital platforms to listen to podcasts. Hope you enjoy your day. Question everything, man. If you haven't picked up anything on this whole entire show, question everything. No matter how crazy it sounds, no matter how stupid it sounds, doesn't fucking matter. If it's a question and it's obvious, someone should be asking it. Ask the question because I feel like that's why we're in the situation we are in this country, around the world, in the human species in general. Nobody's asking the obvious basic questions because I ain't hear no gunshot. And that's all I'm going to say, man. Enjoy your day, all that good shit. So until next time.